Oh, wait, I've had a mare.
I thought it was my internet.
Questions to ask throughout a campaign with the confidence rising. I told WDF don't switch, good times are coming on even deep diving. Bandcam's reactions watch along, still the pride of London thriving. The Eagles of South they flying. Keep your eyes on us, we ain't hiding.
Yes, guys, welcome back to Tactical, the show where we talk about all the stats and all the tactics of what is potentially happening in this upcoming game. As I quickly change the background to the correct one, because today, for some reason, I just completely forgot to do the background.
I
But
didn't even notice, to be honest with you. So
yeah, I still had the Man United one there, so that's a little bit awkward. But this is for our game against Wolverhampton Wanderers at Molineux. I think I'm going to the game, which is going to be good. I've been to Molineux once before, and that was, I think, when we absolutely battered them 2-0 under Vieira. So let's hope we get a repeat. But before we jump into it, Statman Dan, how's it going?
yeah, all good. Might notice a change in the background. I've moved into a new yard, and I've been doing a lot of painting today.
Hopefully
Dude
not
is
painting in that kit though,
currently
mate.
cleaning. Huh?
Hopefully not painting in that kit.
Oh no! I was well. I won't say, but well, actually no, I was topless when I was doing it. So
If I could whistle, I would, but I can't.
yeah, I'm good. How you doing?
Yeah, man, I'm okay. Just doing what needs to be done, man. Going to work, coming home, getting ready for the stream.
The grind.
Yeah, grind don't stop. May have hit our goal, but the grind don't stop. Um, you know what? After that Man United game, unfortunately I'm gonna be going to another game full of confidence because I'd done that when we was going to Fulham. I thought we was gonna go to Fulham and absolutely batter them, and then we barely scraped out of there with a draw. And now, unfortunately, I feel like I'm gonna go to Wolves with the same mentality, even though I should have learned because only 2 weeks ago, Fulham.
To be fair, I think it is slightly different in the fact that we will have had nearly a week's rest. So
Yeah, it won't be
obviously,
a thing where
the
we've
Fulham I
played
think
three
was
games of the
accumulating
year.
bit of fatigue, maybe. I think.
Yeah, I get that, but I can't look past beating Newcastle and then beating Man United. Like those two wins in a row are huge.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it was so weird on like on before the United game, everyone was so confident, like even on Twitter, and I was like, no, and we're like, and then the bookies made us favourites to win. I was like, oh no, like because any time that ever happens, we always flop, and we didn't. We destroyed them. Um, so now I feel like it's not a jinx to be confident anymore.
Well, I hope so. I really hope so. Well, let's get straight into it. Let's do the predicted 11. Hopefully, I press the right button this time. So, predicted 11. Here is what I have gone with. So, in goal, we have Mr. Dean Henderson, whose distribution was actually pretty good against Man United, I have to say.
Yeah, I agree.
At the back, we've got Tarek Mitchell, the return of Mark Gay, because if he wants to get in that Euro squad, and he looked pretty fit to me when he came on late on against Man United, I don't see any reason why he wouldn't start. Granted, I do think it is a little bit harsh to move our other centre back Richards out of the position that he was been playing so well in. However, when he moved to the other side of Anderson, he looked just as good anyway. Anderson in the middle of that back three with Munoz as our right wing back, and basically the same. The rest of the team is all the same. Hughes and Wharton in midfield doing the business. Ebbs and Elise out wide or in the 10 positions, and JP Mateta up top. Dan, would that be your starting 11 as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, I feel a bit bad about Klein, and also it's a massive testament to Klein as well. Just that, we're even thinking about potentially not dropping him, but obviously I think someone with Gay's abilities, like, you can't look past it. And also I think Gay would play really well in that Glasner system as well.
Yeah, of course. And also, I've just remembered this now as we're doing this. Another player coming back into the frame is Lerma as well.
Oh, yeah.
So he probably won't be a starter, but he might actually come on for Hughes later on into the game. So you might actually see Lerma instead of Gyro coming on later on into the game. So we're getting our squad depth back. But yeah, is that the same team you would pick?
Yeah.
So moving on to Wolves now, and the keen or the eagle-eyed viewers of you. Is what I did there.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Come on, Dan, I thought you would like that. That's a you kind of joke.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the joke, but that's my kind of reaction to those kind of jokes all the time.
Well, that should be my reaction
The
to your
point,
kind
the
of
point
jokes,
is,
then.
yeah, but the point is, you want to make people go like, off. That's the point.
Anyway,
so you did well, basically.
cheers, mate. If you guys haven't noticed, they play almost the same formation, word for word, bar for bar. However, if you look a little bit closer, the midfielders, same positions, centre backs are in the same positions. But what you will see is the full backs are a lot wider compared to where we position ours. And that will be talked about a little bit more later on. And also, they have a front three, which is very similar to us. So, front man, winger, or 10-10. But they've got front man, winger. So they wide team, and they like to use the wings a lot more than going straight through the middle. So that is why they're positioned a little bit wider. For them, I have gone with Sarr in goal, with Gomez, Keelman, and Semedo at the back. Semedo is a bit interesting because they've also had injuries to Craig Dawson, who's probably their biggest miss at the back. So they're playing sort of similar to what we're doing, a right back in the centre back role. But I don't think that he's really taken to it as well as Klein has, let's say. They've gone with Bueno and Nori out wide in the fullback positions, with Lamina, who's coming back from injury, and Gomez, who's also coming back from injury, with Huang on the left, Cunha up front, and Neto, who's also coming back from injury, on the right-hand side. Other injuries for them is some kid named Chiwoni. Never heard of him. But basically, both of the Lamina brothers are back and Neto's back. And those are probably the guys that we are worried about the most. When looking at us, nothing's changed really. Johnstone, Decore, and Holding and França are our only injuries. Is that the team you go for for Wolves, mate? Or
I mean, with the injuries coming back, yeah, I think so. I might swap Nori to the left wing back instead. And you could maybe argue Sarabia instead of Neto, but I think Neto's a very good player, so I think he'd probably be likely to start if he's fit enough to do so.
Mm-hmm. Let's go into the comments very quickly before we jump into it. Big up Luke, he's saying 2-1 Palace. The dog, how was Richard's performance yesterday after the drink? I'll say this, yeah. I think that he did more arguing with his midfielders compared to scoring goals. He was playing clubs last night. So take that what you will. Big up Chairman.
Big up Chairman.
Rick, he's seen me up there. My bad, y'all. Luke here saying 1-1 on Saturday. And finally, SECPFC saying evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
All right, Emery. We're playing them next week. So yeah, today I'm going to be talking about how we are going to attack them. So let's get into that. So, first things first, Wolves are in 12th position with 46 points. They are 3 points ahead of us, but they have got a worse goal difference. We are currently on -8, whereas they are on -11. So, if we beat them, we will go above them. So, we could jump from 14th to 12th, which would be very nice. Like I said earlier, when we was talking about the players coming back from injury. Obviously, Neto is back, but because Neto is back, that means they're going to change their formation to fit him in the team. This is because what they have been doing when Neto was injured, let's just pretend he's like Sarabia, let's say. Oh, if I've spelt it wrong, I apologize. But they sort of played like that without Neto. So they played both Cunha and Hwang sort of up front together with Sarabia either picking up a more 10 position or maybe Sarabia plays out wide in that Neto position as well. So because they want to get probably, I think he's their top assister of the season, even though he's been injured a load. Like he's sort of a little bit like their kind of Elise. He's always injured, but whenever he plays, he's deadly. He either sets up goals or scores goals. So they changed their whole playing style just to fit him in when he's available. So they will be changing like that. But because of that, let's go back to this. This is a lot more solid in the midfield. You can see that there's 3 people in midfield at all times, and also you've got 2 forwards, which if they drop back a little bit, they can definitely help defend, and they'll have loads of bodies right in the middle of the park. However, when you do this sudden formation change, if these guys drop back, they're going to be 2 wide, and if this guy drops back, there's only going to be 3 in the midfield and absolutely no outlet whatsoever. So even though this is a good thing for them when they are going forwards to commit more bodies forward easier and to get their best player in the team, it does leave them a lot more exposed than they were. So it's sort of gone from a 3-5-2 to a 3-4-3, which is basically the same formation that we play at the moment. They are a team that they don't make too many chances, but they still score a decent amount of goals. However, they do like to concede a fair few goals as well. They have conceded 60 this season, which is quite a bit. That averages to 1.6 goals per 90. And there's a few more stats that are going to become a little bit more relevant, especially this one. They have got 4 errors which have been leading to goals this season. So it might not sound a lot, but that's errors leading towards goals. Errors leading to shots is 14, which is a lot. So that just means that whoever's been pressing them, they stunk the place out when it got to shooting. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is certain Wolves fans have been in the past trying to compare a certain Max Kilman to a Mark Gay, saying that he should get in the England team over him. So obviously there's some Palace bias coming in here. So you would say Kilman is their main centre back. Would you agree, Dan?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, their main centre back this season has averaged 1.2 tackles per game. And as a centre back, that's not a lot. And when watching him, he likes to shepherd the ball away. He likes to push people onto their weak foot and just sort of guide them out and block shots. He doesn't dive in for a tackle. He's not a very aggressive centre back. What does that mean? He hates playing against people who can dribble. And who can dribble? Eze and Elise. So,
And Mateta.
Oh, mate, if Mateta plays like that, yeah, I don't even know. because my bet's already finished. I have to get a Mateta shirt next season because I said if he gets 10 goals, I'll get a Mateta shirt next season. And guess what? He's on 12. Well, technically, he's on, 15 now if you put in his hat-trick in the Carabao Cup.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, my bet is finished. However, Ali, Schlupp ain't getting 10 goals, so run me my money. But yeah, he's very laid back. He doesn't like to jump in. He's not a very aggressive centre-back. So that is something that we can definitely take advantage of. So, let us begin. Cool. With the same formation, it matches up quite well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just doing something simple like that. But with let's talk about the glaring issue here when it comes to. I'm just going to move these players out of the way. Granted, the space isn't going to be as big as I'm going to show it here, but I'm just going to exaggerate the space so you guys can understand what I'm saying. They're a little bit similar to Manchester United, and I say that because they have the two in midfield. Granted, we also have two in midfield, and when other teams hit us on the break, we are very light at the back. Like we've pulled out some really unbelievable defending to keep some clean sheets and to stop some goals going in. But the same issues that we have when being hit with pace, they also have when being hit with pace. And they have the same issue that Man United have. Granted, they have actually got two proper defensive midfielders that sit in that midfield in Lamina and Gomez. So they will be sitting a lot deeper than what Mason Mount and Eriksson was doing against us on Monday evening. But the same principle still applies. This empty pocket of space, this half space, if you will, if Glasner does what he did against Man United, we're going to get a lot of joy out of this game. And basically what he did is he just made it so that these guys just stayed in the half space, stayed in between two people's areas. Oh, yeah. Did I mention that they lack zonal marking as well? Just standing in the area where he's sort of in Gomez area and in Gomez. Gomez squared.
Gomez squared.
But yeah, if you just stand in the middle and make some half space for yourself to give you the opportunity to pick up the ball, look up and turn, we're going to cause damage, and we did that, and we've proved it already against Manchester United. But obviously they are better. They will close you down, so we won't have as much time on the ball. So the same principle applies, but we're going to have to be a little bit more, I guess, clinical with our passing. Because some passing picked up the ball, Turner just kicked it straight to Man United. Granted, you can steal the ball off of Casemiro, no problem. But I don't think that Max Kilman would allow that. He'd just get rid of the ball and wouldn't even give you the opportunity to try and get the ball. So that's one thing. Another thing is, like I said, Kilman hates dribbling. And what did Michael Elise do to Kobe Mainoo? Picked up the ball from here, skipped out the man, and then one-on-one with the centre-back. Granted, Mateta was great there. He made a nice darting run, pulled the man away for Elise to get a great shot.
Yeah.
There's no reason why we couldn't replicate that again, because Elise and Eze are going to have space in this game. They know how to make space for themselves. They do it quite a lot. They will pin themselves up against the centre back, and the second that there's a ball and then there's space in this space in front of them, the ball will get put into. It's sort of a little bit like Guardiola. They'll put the ball into some space and then they'll run away from the centre back, draw them in. Elise will go, nice little pass, and then you've made loads of space in the box to run in behind. It's very much link-up play is going to be the way forwards in this game. And the reason why I say that is because they do love a low block. And they love a low block so much because they want to counter-attack. That's what they do. They want to pick up the ball, send it long, send it out wide, and then they're going to try and hit you on the counter. But if they're sitting so deep, it means that we're going to need to use intricate play. So again, we've seen it before. We've done it before. If everyone is congested in here and there's no space to pick up the ball and turn and run or do something fancy, one-touch passing is probably the best thing that Oliver Glasner has put into this team. Like some of the link-up play that we've done to kill Man United, why can't we replicate it again?
Mm-hmm. No, I think my favourite was that chance that Eze had and nearly put it in the bottom corner.
Oh, where he pinged it into Elise outside of the boot, flicked it through someone's legs, and he just took a shot, went a bit too wide.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't think that was the best one. I think the best one is one that I've got in the images a little bit later. Who else? Did I already say that Semedo's sort of trying to play the Klein position? He's sort of a right back playing centre back. It's just not working for him.
You mentioned it. Yeah. And you said that he's not doing too well.
It's a thing where the pace is there. The pace will help. The pace is good. But it's just the fact that he was never a very good defender in the first place. He was always a wing back. Didn't they buy him from like Barcelona or somewhere?
I can't remember where they bought him from, but I do remember.
Purely just an attacking fullback, wasn't he?
Well, yeah, because I know like previously when we've done these for Wolves, we've always said Semedo's a really attacking fullback, which is what he is good at.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So that's my 2 cents on Semedo. Remember what I said? Again, 4 errors leading to goals. Why is this? They like to pass out from the back. They absolutely love it. But certain players in their team can't pass very well. E.g. Semedo, Bueno. Not the best at passing out from the back. And because they've only got 2 people in midfield, they've not really got that many options, especially if we are also playing a 5-back. They're not going to be able to get the ball down the wing to Hwang because he's going to have 2 people on him. If Cunha makes a run, Hughes and Anderson will follow him and we'll still have extra men left over. So them doing their route 1 play, I don't actually think it's going to be that effective, but I think that Dan's probably going to speak a little bit more on their counter-attacking abilities. But I lost my train of thought. But because of how they play, and if they're always trying to find a pass, if they can't get the ball long, there's easy opportunities to intercept 1 pass and then a shot on goal. And if they've had 4 goals conceded and 14 shots after picking up the ball deep in their area, it means that if you press them, they don't like being put under pressure. So they do crumble a little bit when they are under pressure. Sick.
Yeah.
Interestingly,
I did one stat I did come across actually, which I thought was interesting. When people play Wolves, Wolves have the most tackles against them in their own third of any team in the league, which I thought was quite interesting. Well, that's not necessarily completed tackles, but that's that's like the number of attempted tackles, and obviously, so the actual number is 118, and second is Villa, and they've got 111. So, as I said, they're not necessarily completed tackles, but they are attempted. So, to me, that indicates that other teams have tried to press them as well.
Mm-hmm. The last thing I need to talk about is their fullbacks. Ait-Nouri, if I remember correctly, on his debut, I think he scored against us, didn't they?
I think so, yeah. Didn't he like win a penalty, or he tried, or I think of a different event? But
that's a different game. I'm sure in his first game, because we were trying to buy him in that January or in that summer window as well. And in his debut, he scored against us. Well, that's just typical, isn't it?
Yeah, because I think he got on the end of like a cross or something, didn't he? Just kind of like poked it in like the corner, didn't he?
I seem to remember it being he sort of just slapped it from outside the box. It just sort of rolled into the net.
Oh, but maybe I'm thinking something. Maybe I'm thinking something different then.
I think it was a game where IU won it for us when he scored that offside goal. You know, he did that great. That Vanana had a shot and he took a touch and scored. I think it was that game.
Oh, was it
We
at
won
their
it
place?
2-1. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh right. Well, I was there for that game, so I probably just don't remember their goal.
Wow, was you sober, mate?
No.
But fullbacks, they get attracted to the ball pretty badly. So obviously, Mitchell's got the ball. Neto will go. Lamina will go, but they will also commit 8 Nori forwards. And
Hmm.
by committing forwards, you leave us the opportunity for Eze to pick up a space in here. And how many times we've seen Mitchell thread a pass through the middle, Eze picks up the ball, turns the ball, and then he can start running at you. That's one
Very
thing.
similar. Very similar to like when we
Mateta's
spoke
goal.
about Liverpool, like how like their fullback tends to push up, like
Hmm.
commit as high as they can.
And then because of that, on the other side, if Bueno's wandering, I think the first time we said it under Glasner was the Liverpool game. If you just stand goal side of their fullback, let him go about his business. Because with the confidence that our defenders are playing with, and even Wharton as well, I think that Elise would be well within his right to say, no, I back my guys. They're good enough to defend this 3-on-3. So if I just stand here, I'm always a threat for Gomez. So Gomez can't really keep this backline solid because he's always got his eye on Elise. Or even better, if he's standing goal side and he's staying on side as well, you know, the defender might even forget he's there because their vision is going to be sort of there, isn't it? So if he's actually standing right on the line, the defender might not even see him until he actually gets the ball. So just standing
Hmm.
goal side because their defenders love to push forwards. If we just stand off, give us some space, and also it's always an option, isn't it? Hughes, we've seen lately that he can ping a crossfield ball. Wharton can do it easily. Mark, who's come back into the team, he was very well known for that long diagonal to Elise from that left-sided centre back. Anderson as well. So we've got the opportunity to get the ball out wide to both of these guys. If they try and hold the width, then it's very possible to do it. And with the fluidity of how we move forwards, if this ball does go out to Elise and he picks up the ball and starts driving inside, Mateta's going to make a run. And because of how Glasner set it up, that all three of them need to be in close proximity, Eze is going to fill in that gap. So these guys are still in close proximity. So even though Elise is running towards goal and he's going to have people on him, if Eze holds back a bit, outside of the box shot, maybe in that tap inside for Mateta to shoot, and even in this kind of situation, because Eze has moved over, Mitchell will then commit forwards as well. So we're going to have an overload going forwards, which would be of what, 4 players, maybe 5, depending on which one of the midfielders commit forwards. But even with 5 in their box, we've still got 5 back. So the counter attack is on, but it's a one-on-one, man for man.
Hmm.
So, how do I show this in images? We go here. We go, actually, quite surprisingly, I thought it was fitting to look at the Man City game. Because I know we're not Man City. I'm not going to say that at all.
Are we not? I don't know.
You never know. Because if you look at
I mean,
if you look at the form table after Glasner joined, we are 4th in the table. I'm just saying. So why couldn't Glasner join at the start of the season? We get Europe. But I thought that there was some quite interesting similarities from how we dismantled Man United to how Man City sort of dismantled these guys. So we have got Bernardo Silva on the ball here. This is Cunha, who's been drawn out wide a little bit, trying to press the ball here. And look, you got your 1, 2, 3 forwards with Kevin De Bruyne here and Rodri here. we could easily see Adam Wharton picking up this kind of position, drifting forwards, with Hughes probably standing back here, or maybe even a bit further to stop like a counter attack or something. But we could very easily see this being Michael Elise running down the wing. Munoz has done the overlap, which Walker's done here. You can see Eze standing here ready for the ball. You see Mitchell's committed forwards up there. And then easy ball inside here, because even though they've got two midfielders, they're too stretched. Nice ball in there to Rodri. Picks up the ball there, and he's got options. He could put a nice ball in behind for De Bruyne here. He could give it back to Bernardo. He could go out to Foden, or he can do a nice little 1-2 with Haaland. And that is a situation that we've seen Adam Wharton in many times, or even if he wants to, he's good enough to shoot from here as well. Picks the ball out to Bernardo, and he whips it in. Basically, is it sounding familiar yet, Dan?
Mm-hmm.
Number 10 here on the ball takes a heavy touch. Rodri straight in. Who can do that, Dan, in our midfield?
Hughes.
Well, both of them, no?
Well, yeah, both of them, to be honest, yeah. And
Yeah.
Lerma.
Gets there, traps the ball, and look at the space that Kevin De Bruyne has got in this half space here. You do not let someone of his quality have that kind of space. What would Eze do in that
City are
space?
shooting to the right.
Yeah.
Wow, and not even just De Bruyne, but I'm guessing is that Foden over there as well?
That's Foden there.
That is crazy.
You've actually got Bernardo Silva's like down here, unmarked as well.
Jesus Christ! So really, you could say that's Elise, Eze, and Munoz.
So really, you could say, I don't know. You could say Mitchell, Eze, Wharton, Mateta, Elise.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all in behind all their players. Like that's their right back. Look, all the way up here. Craziness. And similarities, JP and Elise. In between the lines. Loads of space. Granted, it was a great first touch ball from Richards in there. But look at the space. We've done it before. We can do it again. Here again. Elise sees that he's got two players on him. He runs short. He knows that he's got two people following him. So he pops it back to Wharton. And Wharton sees a pass straight through the middle of some defenders to JP, who then runs onto it. If anything, these moves are actually more technical than what Man City did to dismantle them. So if we can actually implement this same sort of playing style, then we can come into the same thing. Like the similarities here. You see? Why can't we do this?
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason why we can't replicate that. Loads of space. And also, last thing. Wolves were on the beach, apparently, according to some Wolves fans. And Gary O'Neill's done it before. That's probably the reason why he didn't get the job at Bournemouth, because the second they were mathematically safe, he sacked it in, basically. And what it sounds like, or what it looks like on Twitter, is he's done something very similar at Wolves.
Yeah, well, they've won 2 games in 10.
Mm-hmm.
And they haven't, like, it's all like they've had a hard run. Like, that includes a draw against Burnley, draw against Forest, lost to West Ham. Okay, they beat Fulham. I lost to Bournemouth. I know we lost to Bournemouth, but...
Mm-hmm. Any questions, mate, before we hit some comments?
No, all good. That's a very good rundown.
Saying good evening. Can't see us losing, but be a good test for the lads. Sarr is great in 1v1 situations. He saved their blushings after errors. Mateta into R9. Zonal marking against Eze and Elise. That's going to end well. They have the freedom to destroy zonal marking. Leicester till I die. Big up yourself. Welcome back to the Premier League. We will be talking about your club next season. Great result for you the other night. 100%. Great result. worst thing about the United game is that they're making Elise a priority signing. The thing is, I reckon if Elise is destroying them at Palace, he's not going to want to go there, is he?
No, and to be honest, I think the thing is, like, most people will know United as being a very good team. They're not that team anymore. Like, I mean, unless Jim Ratcliffe is doing wonders behind the scenes, I think they're just a mess behind the scenes. And it's like, who will want to go to him? And like, especially for someone like Elise who rejected City to stay at the City, so he rejected Chelsea to stay at us. I don't see why he would then move to United. I mean, United's track record of developing players is atrocious. I can't think of a single non-academy player who's actually improved at United in the last sort of 5-6 years.
Yeah, I think maybe you could say Bruno in his first season, but I think that's just a step up in that he just wanted to prove himself. But he was always that good at Sporting. But still, on Leicester, Leeds falling apart again. That was great when was it Blackburn and Leicester both singing it at the same time in the stadium. That was quality. Lots of championship talk here. Fair play is a matter of FFP debate. That's definitely a video. That's definitely a live stream for the summer window, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think that could be a 2-hour window in of itself. I say 2-hour window, 2-hour video in of itself.
Yeah, points deduction and everything. Monty, I'm feeling Glaz all over. Well,
nice.
Dan, are you ready to talk about how to defend against Wolves?
I am ready. Right. Right, I just need to figure out because I'm on Firefox, so it seems to be a bit different. But I don't want that. I want the other one. So if I go on that. Oh, right, okay, yeah, sure. All right, so it actually does, so you can see the actual pitch now, can't you?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Right, so it just does like Firefox as one then. All right, cool. So, all right, in that case then, I'll show you the stats. So, Wolves rank 5th bottom for the amount of XG created. They rank 2nd bottom for the home XG created, which I thought was very interesting. Although they have got more points at home than they do away, so they do better at home. They rank very well for scoring corners. They rank joint 4th, but obviously you can see that they're joint with 4 other teams there. Sorry, 5 other teams. Apologies. They actually take the 3rd fewest shots per 90, but they do have a half decent non-penalty expected goals per shot, so it indicates maybe they create better chances in that sense. Now this one blew my mind. Oh, no, sorry, that's total. That's why they rank 7th in the league for attempted short passes, and they rank 7th for completed, which I thought, I don't know, that blew my mind a little bit considering I don't even think they've got 50% possession. Where is it? Yeah, they got 48.9% possession, which I don't know. I think that's pretty mental, to be honest. But then they rank quite low for medium passes, long passes, etc. 4th bottom for passes completed into the box. What's that? 6th bottom for 14th, 15th for crosses completed into the box. They don't move into the final third that often compared to other teams. Bottom 3 again. Shot creation, again, obviously they rank quite low. And there wasn't really anything that really stood out to me. So it's not like fouls are particularly high. I mean, maybe fouls their set pieces are quite good because I mean they do rank bottom 3, but as a proportion, foul is quite a lot higher, perhaps. And then take-ons as well, but that's something I'll come back to in a second. Take-ons are just like successful dribbles, in case you're not sure. Don't worry about that. So again, touches in the attacking penalty box, they rank second bottom, which I find crazy. And even in the attacking third, they rank fourth bottom. In the middle third, however, they do rank a lot higher. They rank 8th, and they rank third for the amount of defensive third touches. So on the face of it, that to me, that would kind of suggest that they perhaps go from, because they're not terrible in terms of like their attacking output. So perhaps they do like to build in this area and then quickly attack these areas. So that's why you don't tend to see these ones being too high. Interestingly as well, they have a very high percentage for successful dribbles. They're actually second in the league for that, and it's above 50%, which is very good. However, in terms of completions into the box, it's not that high, but as a proportion to the other things, I think that is still pretty high. And obviously, they progress the ball quite a lot with their dribbles too. Finally, aerial duels, they're kind of lower mid-table in that sense. And yeah. So, what do they do? So, generally speaking, ignore my formation here, it's a bit wrong. What they'll tend to do in the attack is these three will potentially tend to push inside a little bit, and then their fullbacks will attack quite a lot, or their wing backs. And then generally they will build up in this kind of 3-2-5 formation. Now, these two in the middle tend to be a little bit staggered. So one tends to be a bit higher than the other. Sometimes you might see the one player from the front line drop a little bit. So it's more like a 3-1-2-4 or something like that. And the reason why they would do this is because if one player drops, theoretically what you're doing here is you're kind of breaking the lines, as it were. Because if you think like you've got like lines of pressure, let's say, I don't know, let's just move all our players up for a sec. This isn't specific to like how it would be against us, but normally you would have, you know, you'll say your midfield like that, and then your defenders and whatever. If you have staggered midfielders, what that means is that one player from the midfield would have to push up, and then that creates space in behind. That's generally why that happens, but I think we're able to deal with that. And I'll talk about that in a minute. Now, what they tend to do is they'll play with the ball. Don't pause.
If there was an S at the end, then it was definitely a pause.
So generally they'll use. Okay, is that a ball? Yeah, that's a ball. I can't even see the ball. Okay, fine. Right, I can't actually see that ball, so apologies. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to. No, that didn't work either. Okay.
It's the other one.
What's it?
Click it.
See that?
And then right. No. Click the one. Click number 4.
Yeah.
And then you see the third one across from the left.
Yeah.
Yeah, click that.
And
you get another one.
Okay, I thought it was because I was
small.
All right. So I'm just going to make that one really small. So that's the ball, because for some reason it's not doing it. So they'll move the ball about quite a lot here. They'll use this player here if they need to. But to be honest, one thing I'd noticed is that a lot of the passes actually just tended to be. Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, it's going to let me draw a line. They just tend to be kind of like in behind like that, regardless of where it is. And they'll use the wingers to run these channels, but also they'll try to. I think they're quite confident in their one-on-one, so they're happy to have, say, like a 2v2. on the wings, and they'll use they'll try to do 1-2. They might even actually try and take the man on to do that. And one thing I did notice was that when they're in these areas, they will try and pass the ball. So pass the ball, they'll cross the ball. So so someone can do that. But one thing I think all the stats kind of make sense actually, because if you think about it, if you're creating slightly better chances than the average, etc., you're probably in a position where, let's say 11 has actually got onto the ball here, and let's just drop this defensive line a little bit. If you're like in that position, let's say let's just say it looks something like this. That's a favourable attacking position. And they did seem, when I watched it, to be able to build, to make good runs. So like whoever the striker was, they'll make a good run and then they'll pass it, and then they'll be able to get a shot off. They did seem to be quite good at doing that, which obviously that's a very situational thing. It's not really something that I can't really tell you exactly what they'll do, because it'll be different depending on what the situation is. Okay, that won't delete. Why won't that delete? Okay. But yeah, that's basically what they'll do. So they'll have these 5. Now, how would we defend this? Generally, well, I mean, we can go man for man here quite easily. And I think when they are in that build-up as well, I think we can press them quite easily. Because let's say they've got the ball here. If JP does that thing where he stops the passing lane, at least they can push. Well, then if their wing back drops to thing, well, that's what our wing backs are very aggressive when they arrive, and then that's what we can do. We can just lure them into these positions and then force them to kick it long. I know, like, maybe they kind of want to kick it long, but I think they would prefer to kick it long with a purpose rather than just kick it long, if that makes sense. So as in, like, 11 would be in the position and maybe actually running by the time they kick it, rather than just them being static at the time. And I think, I mean, I don't really know how good Saar is on the ball, but I don't think he's that good on the ball from memory. I think he's a very good shot stopper, but he's not. He's not like a ball playing goalkeeper, I don't think. So if you can then force him back, then potentially we could have a situation where Mateta could potentially win the ball, perhaps. I don't know. Another thing, the only thing I think we would need to be a bit wary of, perhaps, is on the wings, because of the way we play, we do manage to restrict the central areas very well. So let's say we are a bit deeper. Let's move these players up a little bit. Sorry, I can't delete those arrows for some reason. So these central areas are fine. I think the only thing we would need to worry is if potentially a ball was maybe played here, and then it gets to the wing back, and then they've got a 1v1. I think that would be the time where I would kind of worry. But then, to be honest, again, it's quite easily doable if you just push. Say, Elise saying Eze, we are in like some sort of low block. I don't know, they maybe move a bit more inside, so that initial pass isn't really on, or we just tightly mark them. So again, if they do have that pass, then at least there's going to be a defender on them straight away. And to be honest with you, even if they do get to this position, I would still be relatively confident that we would defend it anyway. So in that sense, I'm not too worried. Oh, actually, yeah, that's a good idea. I'll just throw them off the thing. I know. Can I do that? Yeah, I can. Right. See you later. No. Yeah, so I would be relatively confident we would defend this position anyway. And to be honest, I think the only time where I would maybe worry a bit more was if, like, they managed to get, like, I don't know, behind the line. But then I think to do that, they would need to recycle Oh look, there's the ball. Why is it only just appeared? That is so weird. Would be that if they then recycled it and then managed to get it to the other side a lot more quickly. So then, let's say Neto does make that run in between the half space, and then gets inside and then is able to play a ball in there. That would be the only time I'd worry. But to be honest, they don't really. I don't think they would really pass it that quick, and especially what JC was saying about them being on the beach. I don't know. I just feel like that intensity from them just wouldn't be there. The final thing that I would say that they are very good at doing is they are very good at pressing, and I have seen a few times where they win the ball in the opposition's final third, and therefore they obviously get a decent chance. But what I would say is that I do think their press is pretty what's it called? When you get past it, what's that called? Well, very easy to get past. Let's just leave it at that.
So the press isn't very intense, or
it is intense, but I think if you're smart about it, you can beat it. So let's say we've got the ball here, and we're doing that thing where Anderson moves here.
You said that their triggers are a bit off then.
Not even that. It's just I think if they're pressing a team who are decent with the ball, it doesn't always work. Don't get me wrong, sometimes it does work, but I think it's not
foolproof.
No, yeah, it's not, yeah, exactly. So they will go man to man. So let's say passes Anderson the ball. Striker will move there as quickly as possible. 11 will move over to whoever's available. And then these two pivot players are being watched by these two players, and so on and so forth. But what I will say is that they do tend to come quite narrow. At least, well, when they played Villa, they did anyway. That's what I'm basing it off. So they do tend to come quite narrow. So it is man for man, but not quite, if that makes sense. So let's say move over like that. It will kind of look something like this. So as you can imagine, all you need to do, I mean, that's Anderson on the ball, let's say. If we were to draw them into this kind of position, then all we got to do is play that long pass out, really. And then that's obviously good for our attack, but also in a defensive sense, they've effectively lost that ability to win the ball in that area, because now Mitchell's on the ball. He can move forwards. He could pass it to Eze, whoever, and then the ball's out of our third. So obviously, if it's out of our third, then they can't win it. So that's what I would say with that. So just to summarise, they'll build up with like a 3 at the back. It's like a 3 and then a 2 staggered midfield. And then the wing backs will go up and join the attack in a 5. As I say, we've got 5 defenders. We've got to play 5 at the back so we can match them man for man. That's not a problem. The only issues I would say would be any balls in behind. Actually, I didn't mention that. Any balls in behind, to be honest, I would be confident that we deal with those, because I think Anderson is very switched on, I think. Positionally very switched on. Whereas I think if it was to ever go wrong, I think Gay and Richards are got a pretty decent pace on them, so I wouldn't be worried for the cover. If they do get in behind, that would be my only worry. But to be honest, I think for them to do that, they would need to recycle the ball and move it to the other side quite quickly.
I do think that with Gay and Richards as well, they're getting in behind. I think we could actually catch them down or chase them down a bit.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. That yeah, exactly. That's
even
what I
with
mean.
Klein as well.
Yeah, no, definitely, and I think we've got that recovery pace now, which I think is obviously that's going to combat that very well. And to be honest, even if they do whip across into the box, I would actually be confident that we would defend that as well. And that's it really. I think we can stifle their attack if we just press them as well. If they stifle their build up, force them long, and then hopefully that means that they just won't be in a position where they can actually get in behind. So that's it.
Cool. A few more comments. You pulled up the stats and Sharon went, "Ooh, spreadsheet friends."
I've got a spreadsheet. Well, it's not actually my spreadsheet. It's FB Ref.
Animal here saying final game of the season, Burnley vs Forest. That's a huge game. It could be a game for who stays up. Could be. I don't think it will be, but it could be.
Could be. Yeah, could be.
Big up Paul. Everyone from Antrim Eagles. Big up yourself.
Big up.
Leon's done well to take the survival to the very end of the season, but I think most people thought they would be down by March. Yeah, they've done well.
To be fair, they have been helped out by the
Points deductions.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they've done a lot better than people thought, though. That is true.
And will Elise go United? Probably not, but you never know.
Yeah, I don't think he will. Like I said earlier, I think they're just a team that you just wouldn't want to play for, especially when Elise is good enough to go to a better club.
Definitely. I think give it another year, then go to City. That's what I would do. If I was his advisor, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Quality. So, I think the last thing to do now is score predictions. And I do believe that I threw you under the bus last week.
Did you?
Even though we both predicted the same thing. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to predict the same thing. 3-1 Palace. What are you saying, Dan?
I'm going to go 2-0 Palace. So same margin of win, but I think we'll keep a clean sheet. I just don't think Wolves' attack is that, especially with them being the way they are at the moment. I just don't think.
But I feel like that's the perfect reason why they would score, though. We just give them something stupid.
True. That is true.
I don't know. But is that all done?
Yep, that's all for me.
Cool. Well, guys, thank you very much for watching. This is the Tactical for Wolves Crystal Palace at Molineux. Next week, Tactical will be on Thursday because we're all going to be at the under-21s match against PSV.
Oh yeah.
So,
I'll be there. I did get my ticket, but I kind of thought I'll just get it.
Send me where you're sitting so I can get mine near or around you.
Yeah, I'll send it to you in a bit, but I'll send it to you after this.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, we're gonna go to that. I don't know. Should we vlog it or should we fan cam it? I think vlog it probably. We get to go home quicker than after that.
Yeah, I think a vlog. Yeah.
Well, potentially we could see 2 trophy lifts in 2 weeks at Sellers Park. That'll be one thing that will never happen in another 100 years. But yeah, only one more of these to go in this season. So
yeah,
thank you for watching. I've enjoyed doing these with you, mate.
Yeah, always. I love doing these. And yeah, look forward to next season. Hopefully, maybe if we manage to catch a couple pre-season games, maybe it'd be good to maybe just do like a pre-season one or something, just see how we're playing, see how any new players are fitting in, etc.
Well, yeah, I think maybe see if we can try and do some if new players start signing, see how they would fit in, how they'll benefit the team. And even in pre-season, see if Glasner tries anything funky to see if we've got like a different kind of plan B in our pocket for the new season. But guys, thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified 30 minutes before stream and a video. And as always, up the Palace.
Up the Palace.
Eagles.
Eagles.